Hi everyone, I'm super excited to announce that my yoga guide is ready. So I wanted to create a little video to explain to you everything that I've put into the guide. I've created this guide over 5 months, and in that time I've done a lot of research into yoga guides that already exist, and I've also asked a lot of questions to the people who follow me on Instagram and through my email list as to the struggles that you face when you are practicing yoga by yourselves at home. And I've created a guide based on the struggles that you've presented to me and the lack that I see in the yoga guides that I've already seen in the market. So the first 3 things that came up when I asked were the idea of motivation, so that lack of motivation that you find to practice yoga at home. The second thing was alignment, and not knowing whether you have the correct alignment when you don't have the guidance of a teacher. And the third thing was how to create structured flows at home. So you may get onto your mat and feel like you don't know what to do next, or how to create creative sequencing at home without following a YouTube channel or without having a teacher to guide you. So I've created a yoga guide that addresses all of those issues. So I've broken the guide into 2 different sections. The first guide that I have is this yoga guide which is your index of poses. So this guide is 120 pages long, and it's 116 pages of poses. The poses are all sectioned into the different categories in which they fall within the yoga practice. So we have warm-up and centering poses, which are all color-coded based on the color at the top of the page. So we have warm-up and centering poses. We have sun salutation poses and poses that sequence well into the sun salutations. There's standing poses, seated poses, finishing poses, and then shavasana at the end. So each of the 129 poses is photographed with an image, and sometimes there's a few different images to show you step by step how to get into the pose. And there's also detailed instructions of how to get into the pose, as well as the breath that happens during the pose. The poses are also categorized based on these little symbols, and they're categorized based on the body type or the body area that they most likely target in that pose. So we have arms, legs, core, hip openers, heart openers, forward folds, and restorative poses. So if you have a particular body area in your body that you know that you need to work a little bit more, you can go through this guide and pick out the poses that target that specific area and create your flow based on that. Within each of the poses, there's often tips or modifications in these gray blocks that you can either modify the pose based on your particular body, or in some cases, I've got options for you to take the pose a little bit deeper. So moving deeper also into the pose, so either using blocks or any kind of stacks of books to take you a little bit further into the poses. Within the poses, there's also some of the common errors that you can face in the poses, and I've detailed them and how to correct the poses. So yeah, that's kind of the different sections of this yoga guide. So if this is of interest to you, or you think this might help your yoga practice at home and you'd like to get yourself a copy, you can head over to shaydyer.com where they will be available for purchase. Thanks guys!